Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren and I am the owner and artist behind my own stationery store, LA Florals. But in today's video, I wanted to kind of share what my plans were for 2025 versus how it turned out, because it is vastly different. And there have been many slumps along the way. So let's just get right into it. This is embarrassing. Okay, so this was supposed to be my stack for 2025. And just to like walk you through it all, I'll just go like one book at a time. So let me just start at the bottom and I'll work my way up. Okay, so this is my Happy Planner Big, and it's just a notebook. To be transparent, I have not even used it. My thought process for this initially was that I was going to turn this into like my business binder. With me running my own small business, I was needing somewhere that I could, you know, write down my sales for that month, what I owed in sales tax, what I would owe in income tax for that month. Like, I was needing just a functional place to do that. And I didn't want to do like a standard 3-ring binder. Like, I'm a planner girly, so I wanted it to be a little cuter than that. And when I saw this, it was actually on sale at Happy Planner when I got it. I loved it. Like, the dividers are adorable. I love everything about it. Yeah, like I even hole punched this and I put it in there. Like, I was fully ready to use this, and I think it's still adorable and I still want to use it. Like, I love it, but it just was not functional and I never got it set up. I never got it running, and that's my own fault. It's not the book's fault. But I just think that for something like that, I'm using a lot of spreadsheets and that kind of thing. So I almost wonder if maybe the 3-ring would have been better, or I just didn't give this enough of a shot in setting it up. But either way, it's a fail. My second Happy Planner is this one. This was going, and this is again, still just a standard dot grid notebook. But this, and I did have just some papers on hand that I had bought like on sale. Like, they were literally like $2, I think. So I did add and supplement some papers in here, but at the core of it, it's literally just a dot grid notebook in the classic size. So this was ideally going to be my reading journal. And pretty much like my big Happy Planner notebook, I just failed on getting it set up. I think I finished my first book January like 3rd or 4th or something. And I was like, ooh, I need to put that in my reading journal. Like, I was so excited. And then for some reason, I just didn't. I don't know. And then by the time I got like 3 and 4 books, you know, into the year, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so behind on my reading journal. And then it turned into like a big scary task in my brain. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna need like a whole day to set this thing up now because I've read 10 books already and like that kind of thing. And I think right now I'm sitting at like 20 books read, I think, this year. And just every single month, it was just getting a bigger and bigger and scarier task to set up. And so it was a fail, unfortunately. And that really makes me sad, I'm not gonna lie. My Hobonichi weeks. And I did not start out the year with this cover. This cover was gifted to me by one of my lovely Patreon member and friends. Shout out to Denise if you're watching this. But I added this cover in anyway. This is supposed to be kind of like my media journal. And I did really well with it, like just having fun with it. My in-laws came for the weekend and we hosted them for Christmas. So like we watched The Substance together because we're like a horror movie family. We watched Longlegs. I had a soap day with my mom. I was reading books. I restarted my Animal Crossing islands. And then here's where I kind of got to the point where like, okay, I'm having fun with it. I'm really loving it. I'm reading all of these books. I'm playing all of these games. But I got held up at adding pictures in here. And that is where my holdup was. So like, these are the Animal Crossing Islands villagers that I got. Adding books. We went to the fair. We went to dinner with my family. Started a new season of Big Brother. So like I was having so much fun with it and I really truly did love it. But just the thought of like having to sit down and add pictures to it was really, really like kind of my blockade. This year I also, in addition to running my own small business where I have Etsy, Shopify, Patreon, and then I also had a website move this year, I'm also helping my mom's small business, which is just absolutely amazing. But that does, you know, running 2 small businesses takes a lot of time. And if I'm sitting down at my desk, it's going to be more productive for me to spend that time on my small business or my mom's versus, you know, printing off some pictures. So this is just one of those things that I do want to eventually go in and backfill because it's going to be easy. I'm not doing like, you know, family photos. It's like book covers or game covers, that kind of thing. So I do want to go back and backfill this a little bit. Not crazy or anything, but just to have this as a memory and bring it back up. I wouldn't say that this is a complete fail. I think I just needed to be more realistic and like I did not need to have a reading journal and a media journal. So this one is a half and half for me in terms of is it a failure or is it not? Okay, so here's my happy planner and this one is a classic and I did use it as, let me flip to, I think it was April maybe, or maybe it was May. Like I was using this and I was having a lot of fun with it, but it just kind of got to the point where like I don't need a memory keeper. It was just one more thing to keep up. But I think the deal is that I really, really, really did want to use a happy planner. Like this is so much fun to me. Like I had so much fun. This is literally like I remade my office setup with one of their boxes and everything. So I had a lot of fun with it and I loved just letting myself sticker it up and do whatever I wanted to do. But I don't know, it's just one of those things that I'm not sure that I needed for this year, because if my Hobonichi cousin was working correctly, which spoiler alert, it did not, then this is not even needed because it would be in my daily pages. So that's where the need for this one came from, was that my Hobonichi flopped, so I need somewhere to write more and have fun. And this just didn't quite work out for me the way that I planned. But I will say I took a few months off from it and I am using it now as a content planner for my mom's small business and mine. So it still has a purpose. I'm still using it. I found a use for it. It just is nowhere near like what I originally thought it would be for this. And that's fine. With me using it as a content planner, I have plenty of room to brainstorm about, you know, what I want to post for my mom, what I want to post for myself, you know, how those posts are doing, that kind of thing. So this does work out really, really well for that. But it just kind of makes me sad that it was nowhere near like what I originally intended for it. So this one is a fail for its original purpose, but I really, really enjoy the way that I have repurposed this. So this is my Owl Paper Planner Journal is what it's called, a planner journal. And this I'm not going to flip through too much because it does have like my more personal journaling in it. This also has, so it has the Tomorrow River paper. I'm sorry, I'm not sure how you say that. The TRP paper in it. And somehow this book scraped by without getting the Hobonichi Disaster Zone paper. And so this is fountain pen right here. Worked perfectly. Fountain pen, and this is my Klenna. I took, you know, I to be transparent, I lost this. We were going through really bad weather, and I lost it for a little bit. These are all Shuttle Art acrylic markers, and it literally handled it beautifully, like just some slight shadowing, but that's no big deal. But this is more so how I would typically use it. At the end of each week, I'll go through and I will like maybe add some stickers, but at the core of it, it is just a big giant to-do list. Something that I learned in 2024 with my Hobonichi cousin was that I despised having my work to-do list right here where it's like has the time, and then doing my personal journaling on the rest of it. I absolutely despise that because I don't want to be writing my personal thoughts and then be staring at my to-do list about what all I'm missing. Like, it just did not work for me. So that meant that I needed a way to track my to-do lists. And, you know, sometimes I don't ever go back and I don't ever like check things off, but just getting that down on paper helped so, so much. And, you know, I hop in and out of this thing as I need to. I will play around with it as I need to. Like this, I was trying like a daily focus. I tried that for a few weeks actually. And I track like my sales tax. So this is literally just a purely to-do list book for me. Ooh, I don't know why that looks like that. That's weird. I've never noticed that before. But anyway, so this is just a to-do list book for me. It's purely functional. This was when I was trying out, you know, the Hobonichi pens that have like the black, the blue, and then the red. I was trying out black are my tasks, blue, they get moved once, and then red, they got moved twice. So I would know like what I was getting done and what I wasn't. I was marking down what days I was the most productive, what days I was not, that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, this book for me is great in terms of just managing my to-do list, and I just hop in and out of it as I see fit. There is absolutely zero rhyme or reason to it. And these back pages I like fill up, and pen test swatching. This is another acrylic set. These are my doodle breakdowns. I also did some watercolor painting in this one. Like, it's just a random book for me, but it's definitely a little companion, and this is absolutely a success. This will be my second book with Owl Paper Planner, and love it. My only thought process on it, though, is that I do wish that it came with the two books in one. It's an Avec system, and the Avec honestly does not quite work out very well for me because, you know, with me owning my own small shop, like I will be planning something in June, but it may coordinate for Christmas, that kind of thing. So I need to be thinking about things way farther in advance as we get toward the end of this book. And I don't want to carry around two books. So that's something that is, you know, just a personal note for me that I have learned, is that maybe Avecs just aren't the best. But then again, it also is really, really nice having this portable book that I can beat up, I can throw around, and it can be a little companion for me. So this is absolutely a success for me. I knew it would be because I ended 2024 with her 2024 book. So here's my cat. This is my Hobonichi cousin. I think the size sums it up. Let's just get into it. I want to make a whole video just because, like, obviously I know that everybody has experienced this if you have the Hobonichi this year. But yeah, I got a bad batch. So these are my stats for reading, where every day I would go through and track. And as you can tell, with us literally being here and I have not touched this, I lost all passion for this book at about early January. So I set this book up and I have been struggling ever since. I am not having fun in this book. All of my pens are bleeding through. All of my markers are bleeding through. I don't even feel like I can use my stickers or anything because, like, even those show through. So as a personal note, though, I have tried to power through a little bit and, like, use my weeklies, but this is nothing like what I need or was wanting for my Hobonichi this year. Oops, let me make sure. Okay. Yeah, this is just nowhere near what I was wanting for this, and that just makes me so sad. I hardly had any blank pages in my 2024 Hobonichi cousin, and this year it's literally it's more of a surprise if I have writing down than if I don't, quite honestly. And that just makes me sad, and that's not what I bought this book for. You know, this book last year for me was planning every single part of my day, like what part of my block schedule I was on, or what I ate that day for wellness and that kind of thing. And again, this will be a different video, but like my Hobonichi last year quite literally saved my dog's life because we were going through tons and tons of vet appointments over and over and over. And because I was able to track his symptoms and everything in my Hobonichi, I saved his life because I was able to advocate for him. And that is just not something I can do in this book. Like, all of this light stuff is already bleeding through. And just really quickly, I will say, as a side note, for some reason, my weekly pages are slightly better than my dailies. My dailies are not even usable, to be quite honest. So, like, this is me brainstorming about my block schedule. I was just building my block schedule. But here are a look into my daily pages. And I have, you know, this is just mild liner. And even that is like completely bleeding through. And then this is a highlighter I used consistently in my 2024 one. And literally you can already tell that I'm not feeling it compared to this chunky gal. So, you know, this is the difference between 2024 for me and 2025. Like, look at this difference. So this is 2024. I was using it as a daily journal, writing reflections, ideas for my small business, stickers, and 2025. Like, I knew by one page in, like, even setting it up, like my stats reading tracker, this was not going to work for me. I do doodle tutorials in this. Like, this is a doodle that I did. I'm tracking my dog's symptoms. Here was my first ever doodle tutorial series on YouTube. And, you know, I can't even use that pen at all in my 2025 book. So this was just a fail for me, and that really, really sucks. And I literally, by January 8th, I said, what is wrong with this freaking paper? I was so over it. Like, this was supposed to be my book. Like, my entire planner system was built around this book. This is my memory keeper. This is my functional business book. This is everything. And it just failed, which resulted in lots of trial and error throughout. So anyway, I am not going to keep, you know, ranting about the Hobonichi because obviously we've all done that. I will make a separate video about it. But, like, for example, here's a doodle tutorial that I did in collaboration with my mom's small business, and look at the back. Like, that's not even usable. And this is the exact same pen. Like, I'm not joking. It's the exact same pen. Not even just brand or whatever, the same pen that I used in my 2024 doodle tutorials. So it's just not usable for me as how I originally wanted. But thankfully, I think I can use the weekly pages still. So moving forward, I'm going to try to salvage the weekly pages as much as I can, just so I'm not wasting, you know, a $65 planner entirely. But yeah, I'm going to try to start using the weekly pages again. And then the daily pages, I'm just going to write off. I'll use every other page as just random notes if I need them, but I'm not going to worry about upkeeping them. I gave up on that a long time ago. And let's see. So because I gave up on the daily pages, I tried the Hobonichi, or the Happy Planner Classic, which was this one that was my memory keeper. And this did not work out for me. It just wasn't enough room for daily journaling, and that's fine. It just felt like one more book I was forcing myself to use. So when I realized the Happy Planner was not going to work for me, I switched into this, which is just an A5 dot grid bullet journal. And I started using this in March, and I was actually able to watercolor in it, which again is like the first time I was able to do that since my 2024 cousin. So it felt really nice to be able to finally paint again and play with spreads and have a tracker and, do all these things. But like at the end of the day, like, it's hard to upkeep a bullet journal. Like this is more so how I would, do my 2024 Hobonichi daily pages. And it felt so good to be back in that. But I mean, it's just hard to upkeep at the end of the day. Like I just was not ready for that. And I think honestly, I was just really, really bummed out about my Hobonichi not working. So that's kind of where like that limbo that I have been literally since March when I started this was just my bullet journal feels forced, my Hobonichi does not work, and I needed to figure something out. That brings me to my revised 2-book system. So this is my Wonderland 222, and this was gifted to me by my sweet friend Deb. Deb, if you're watching, hi, hello, I love you. But she gifted me a 2024 Wonderland 222, and this book is amazing. I'm just redating it as I go, and it's literally just my all-in-one business tracker and everything. I am only a few days into it, but I already feel more at peace with this. I feel so good about this. The weeklies are exactly like what I was missing in my Hobonichi cousin this year in terms of like being able to do the highlighter. I can say how long I was working, I can make some to-do lists, and I can make some notes. So I really, really think that this will get a lot of use. And because I just started it, I dated it from June 2025 all the way until May of 2026. So this is almost like I made my own academic planner. And then I have all of these daily pages in the back. And I just think this is going to be the perfect solution to the Hobonichi cousin issues I have been having. So this is my business book now, and it's very compact, and I'm already so obsessed with this thing. And then this was a surprise for me. I make kits in my stationery store, and I actually traded one of my friends. I gave her tons of sticker sheets, and she gave me this book. So there are a few things in here that she had already written down, but like I said, like this is just a used, little planner, and so I have paper clipped those off because that's not mine to share. So I paper clipped everything that she had written in. So I'm going to be very, very careful about what I show. But I really, really, really love the size of this. I love how much room there are in the margins to be able to write and that kind of thing. And I'm just going to go ahead and flip directly to the sample pages that I was working on. So for example, we are in June. So what I did was I started this June 2nd, and then I'm going to make everything like the weekly pages. I'm going to make everything back kind of like a commonplace where I can just erase the date and put whatever I want there. So for example, I brainstormed myself a 2025 goals reset. And then this is just some ink testing that I got. I got a Earl Grey Diamine ink, and I love it. It's beautiful. So again, I'm just from here back in the weeklies is just going to be for fun, commonplacing, notes, whatever. Because that is one thing. This book does not have any notes pages, so I'm just going to make my own. No big deal. And essentially, this has taken the place of my daily journal. And granted, it is a lot smaller than what I'm used to in the cousin, but it's still fulfilling that space for me where I can be creative and I can doodle and I can write about my day and I can use my stickers from my shop. Like, I'm just really, really happy with this and loving this. So yeah, like I even brainstormed about like my planner situation because I've been in such a funk this year. I doodled let's see, last Saturday was my first day of filming back for YouTube, so I filmed a little ghost with a camera and stuff. Like, I was just having so much fun with this. I used the 5th exclusively as a test on testing like pens that I use, markers, that kind of thing. The only thing I have not tested yet, the only thing I have not tested yet are watercolors, which that will be coming up soon. But like, it just performed wonderfully. And this really, really scratched an itch for me that I was needing and that I was missing this year. And like, honestly, like, I didn't doodle at all doing this block of entry, and I was able to write a ton. Like, I didn't find myself being like, oh, like I was in the middle of a thought and I'm running out of room. Like, I wrote all I could, and I even did like, you know, a little bit of just bare bones to-do list. On the 6th, I paid all of our bills, so I like put that down. Like, I don't know, I really am so happy with this book. And this was completely by chance. Like, I got this by doing a sticker sheet trade, and I had no clue that this would be something that actually would work out for me. Like, I literally planned on not using this at all, and I was only going to use it to measure to make kits with. So this has just been the best surprise. So this is my kind of personal daily journal, and this is now my business. And moving forward, I do want to do a daily doodle. So this is a Hobonichi cover. I may be mad at them about the paper, but it's fine. I still love them. I'll give them another chance. But inside I have a stalogy, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. But I have an A6 daily, half-year daily journal. And I've never used their paper before or anything, but I do want to turn this into a daily doodle. So I have that, and then I do want to bring back my Hobonichi weeks. I want to renew this purpose for it, and essentially, since my reading journal completely failed this year, I want to add that like in-depth reviews, that kind of thing into this. So this will be getting a revamp, but it's staying. So here is my new 2025 for the rest of the year stack. And I feel so good about this. I have my daily journaling needs covered. I have my business needs covered. I have my daily doodle covered because I'm doing tons and tons of doodle tutorials for my YouTube and for Instagram. That's all going to be covered in here. And then I will have this for any movies that we watch, any books that I finish, that kind of thing. And I'm just going to move it all into here, and I'm going to release that pressure of needing a separate reading journal. It's too complicated for this year. I'm just going to move it into here. So I started off the year thinking that the Hobonichi cousin was just going to be my end-all be-all. And because that's what it was for me in 2024. Like, quite literally the only books I used in 2024, my Hobonichi cousin, my weeks, and the owl paper planner toward the end of the year. And, well, I guess I can add to this stack my owl, because this is just going to be, you know, I'm just basically going to be referencing this for all of the business notes that are in the back, but it's not going to be like a true planner system for me anymore. That's all going to be moved into here. But yeah, I feel so much better with finally figuring out a new flow and a new way to go about everything, because I had been trying like so many different books to make everything fit what all used to just be in one book for me, and that's just not how it's gonna work this year. So that's okay. I'm just trying new things out, and I'm just, you know, gonna have to be okay with that. Yeah, I mean, let me know if the Hobonichi, and I also want to preface this, well, not preface because we're done with the video, but, you know, I know that me rambling on about how the Hobonichi is so bad or whatever, like, that is absolutely not a life or death issue. It's not. It's paper. It's not a big deal. So it is in no way, shape, or form an emergency. This is just, I'm managing 2 small businesses plus my own thoughts where I'm dealing with my own stuff. So, like, it's a big deal to me on a personal level, but this is not the end of the world. This is not very important in the grand scheme of life. Like, I totally know that and I recognize that. And it's absolutely a privilege that I get to be this concerned over paper. So anyway, I just want to throw that out there that, you know, I recognize that this is not a super duper big deal, but for me and my little brain, this feels a lot better and more cohesive than trying to force a book to work that isn't going to work and that kind of thing. So we'll see how I can use the weekly pages in my Hobonichi. I might just use that for like scripting, but essentially this is where my real work is going to be happening. So anyway, sorry this was such a long and rambling one. I guess it was also just kind of nice for me to like talk through all of the different things that I have tried this year, what didn't work, why it didn't work, and why this actually seems to be working. So anyway, let me know in the comments below if you have also been in a slump. I hope you haven't, but let me know. I love talking about planners and paper, and it's, as you can tell, is my happy place. And yeah, so just let me know. Bye friends, and I will see you in the next one.